Let's talk about these two kits right here for a second now. The process is pretty simple. You want to place an order, go to the website, place your order. We don't charge anything on our website. It's free and easy and quick to submit your order to us. Here's kind of that work through process, or how that process works. Place your order. We'll reach out to you once we receive the order and it goes into production. Once it goes into production, we typically will charge you for the kit portion of everything. And if you have a balance for your install, we charge that when we get to your house to do your install. However, in the rare cases, I have decided to help customers out here and there, or just, in my opinion, do a favor for people, as to where if we can, we'll bring the kit with us, and then you can pay for the whole thing. You pay $0 up front and just pay once we get there with the kit. In this situation, and I'm not going to name names because there's just no reason to, but this is an example of why we don't make this a normal thing, because we end up getting screwed in the long run. And it only really takes one time to just make it a massive nightmare financially. So these two kits specifically, we had two guys that wanted to do an install. They literally just ordered, let's just say, a week and a half prior to this moment happening, which timelines are not ever that quick, ever. So we're doing them a favor, and I was trying to do them a favor. In this situation, I was already going to a specific city. So I sent the kits in advance, had them made, etched their names, all that stuff, their colors, whatever they wanted, made their kits, shipped it there to do this install. Had a flight that was supposed to leave, flight was delayed, then eventually was delayed 3 different times, and they canceled it, put it scheduled for the next day. Then they changed the airport departure location, which was weird, and that's never happened in 17 plus years. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Called the customer, was like, hey, trying to make it in there, trying to figure out a way to still get into town tonight to do your install the following, day. And he's like, okay, understood. And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, was like, hey, talk to my so-and-so, and we just decided we're not going to do it anymore, because it seems like you're having a complication of getting here to us. Okay, yes, there was some issues, kind of out of my control, but yes, there was some problems. But at the end of the day, you have spent $0, and we're still faster than we've ever been before trying to do this. We've already sent the kits, major kits. We have flights that were scheduled. So all in all, this mind being changed situation cost me, with the different flights, having to cancel flights, non-refundable this, non-refundable that, ended up costing me a little over, I think it was $967. We're out of that money. Gone. We'll never get that back. Can't reuse any of the stuff. It's just, this is a prime example of why we have to get paid before we ship kits out to customers, because if you change your mind, we have cost and expense and product and parts that was wasted for you. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying in this situation, it is a negative situation, or it is a negative thing. This is why we don't make this a regular thing, because of these minds being changed in these situations here and there. So anyways, let's get to what we're doing today. What is up, everybody? I am in Punta Gorda, Florida today. It's a bit windy, so I apologize if you can hear the wind, but you can see that. She's done. Came out beautiful. This owner of this vehicle, his name is Thomas Fitzgerald to be specific, and he has a very in-depth relationship and history with Eikon. This car originally was installed when Jaden used to work for us. Jaden did this install on this. And there was some issues, but it was also a V1. Here is the old kit. This is the V1, and my goodness gracious, is this ever old and problematic. I mean, there were some issues with it. Not every single one of them had the same issues, but that kit is going to the trash heap now. But look at this. So you see right here, this is a brand new, in the box, still sealed, vertical door brand C8 kit for this car. The issue is Tom didn't want to put this on the car. He did buy one because he had problems with the V1. And then obviously we had the issues that we were having as a company and we're trying to solve them, still working through those issues, and we're pretty much at the tail end of that now. And I can't be happier for that. But it's been a long road for Mr. Fitzgerald, and he is super happy that we are finally done. And that dilemma is in the past. Couldn't be happier with the doors. This thing came out beautifully, beautifully. Let's pull it down, close the door a little bit. This thing is gorgeous. I truly love doing this, albeit stressful at times, but I love doing it. It's the faces of the customers. It's the smile. It's the genuine, like, oh my God, this looks so great. I love it. It's exactly what I wanted. You know, that for me is what does it. One of the super awesome things too is like the locations. I mean, obviously, yeah, I travel quite a bit. I see beautiful places, meet amazing people like Thomas here. And I really love that in this situation, with Thomas having such a, honestly, a bad kind of taste in his mouth from Eikon, from when we went through the regime change, when my ex and the ex-involved CFO at the time just was causing a lot of issues, having me step down for so long and distance myself while they can just take this company and trash it and steal. You know, and this is kind of what I've kept my mouth shut for the most part to anyone. I haven't really explained anything in detail to anyone, and I'm not going to, because it's not a poor me situation. This isn't, I'm not trying to make it like about a moment in history, because it's about moving forward. It's about making things better and making things right. Case in point, here we are with Thomas Fitzgerald, making it finally right for him, and he has been through the ringer with Eikon. At the end of the day, yes, I am the CEO and I am the owner of this company. I'm the founder, starter, and everything. Even though I stepped down for a couple years, doesn't give me or entitle me to enjoy the ability to say, I don't really know what happened. I mean, obviously I've heard about it, but it's not an excuse. It's my company. And my trust was put in some people that shouldn't have been. And I'm paying the price for it, and I'm fixing that, and I'm still repairing that and still dealing with that. But I'm glad that we're finally here and we're finally getting it done. It's just, it's nice, you know, to, when I was out here earlier, these shells, like these oysters and clams, whatever the hell they are, right down here, the water line was a lot lower, so the tide was out, and tide's coming back in now. It's kind of cool to see that in real time. If I wasn't terrified of sharks, or basically anything that's in this water, I would love to jump in it, but I almost died from a turtle a while back while I was here in Florida. I mean, no, I didn't see it really come at me, but people on the beach did, and I saw a shadow, and I just assumed that my life was over. Everyone was running towards the water, and I was the only person really kind of running out of the water because I felt like I was gonna die. But in my defense, let's be honest, like, if a turtle's coming that close to the beach, the shore, something had to have been chasing it, right? So if the turtle wasn't gonna kill me, probably whatever was chasing the turtle could have killed me and wanted to probably kill me. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing that lives in here wants me to be in there with it. So technically speaking, everything in here wants to kill me. So I respect this, I'm gonna stay out of it. I mean, I can see the bottom, doesn't make me feel any better, but it's not less scary because I can see the bottom here. I can't see it 5 feet out, but I can see the bottom here, but you go right over there, it's gone. And that's where all of the monsters are, you know, currently at. It's fine, I'm gonna let them do their thing. I am truly blessed to be able to do this for a living. I've done it for a very long living, and the past few years, because of the personal issues that I've been going through and haven't made things better, it's caused a whole different kind of stress and problems, but I'm coming through, I'm getting through it, working through those issues, and things are turning around. And I love it. And I was just talking to Thomas. I haven't had that moment to just kind of like, you know, breathe and embrace what it is that I did create with the V2. Obviously the stepping stones being the V1. I don't wish I could go back and change the V1. I think as a product designer and a developer, you have to have something to learn from. And if the V1, like I've said in other videos, didn't happen the way it happened, I wouldn't have been able to perfect the now V2. So I'm glad. I mean, all in all, the V1 was phenomenal. It was still light years ahead of what was on the market. It was more just kind of oversights, small issues here and there. That was it, and it was a very small amount of them that was affected by that. But we've done videos, we've covered that. I'm not going to do that every single video that we make moving forward, because really, truly, it's about the future. It's about moving forward. So let's talk to Tom and see how he feels about today's installation.
The red decals in the back, the red Corvette name, the red doors, the red interior. Yeah, it looks awesome.
It does.
It really does look awesome. Surprised there's not a line of people here lining up to look at it, right?
So everyone, this is Mr. Thomas Fitzgerald.
Hey, y'all.
I was saying earlier when I was doing some filming, when you were inside, I was kind of going briefly over the historic history between you and Eikon.
It's been a while.
the embattled kind of sour taste, obviously. And that said, I mean, you know me well enough. I don't hide. I don't sugarcoat. I take accountability for, you know, my mistakes and problems that I directly or indirectly caused or should have prevented, you know.
Well, that's why you flew here to Punta Gorda, Florida yesterday from Arizona to do the install. And look at that. Talk about a chick magnet car.
What do you think? Now
oh my God, it's awesome.
So you had originally, and correct me, because I didn't do your first original install.
Correct.
That was, I believe, Jaden, right? Yeah, okay. So you had the V1 originally, and I was looking at it, the very early on edition of the V1. And then you had issues. What were those issues again that you were having?
The alignment kept on getting out of alignment, where the door would go a little too high or a little too low, and I had to try and get in there and adjust, you know, a setting so that it would level up, and that happened too often.
Yeah, and that was one of the main reason why we discontinued the V1. So what we discovered after some issues like that, like that Thomas was suffering from, we discovered that in the laser or in the water jet cutting process of the arm, where they go in to pierce the metal first, it was done in the wrong spot. So it was creating kind of a convex, or, you know, a indent in a sense that was causing weakness in that arm, the position.
Okay.
And it was aluminum. The V1 was an all aluminum kit, obviously.
This is all steel.
This is, well, it's a mixer of the steel and the 6061 aluminum, but steel where the structure and integrity needs to be, so there's no more weight being supported by anything aluminum. So it's all A36 and structural grade steel now.
So Tim, I could almost do the spiel when I call you. It's such a good spiel, but it's true. And here I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in your words, what would you say the noticeable difference between the V1, even the V1, is, and then this one?
I guess putting the door up and down, it only goes out maybe 18 or 20 inches. And again, for me living in Florida, there's so many SUVs anymore, and the parking spots are tight. And if you pull in, you know, with the Corvette that has like about a 4-foot open wide, it's really hard to get in and out of the car sometimes. And now with this, it goes out maybe 18, 20 inches, and it goes up very easily and it comes down even easier. Great, yeah.
Well, and that's obviously and I've mentioned this in videos before. It's when we separated and we decided to manufacture and design our own, it was how many different ways can you bottle water? You know, there's really only one way. So what was going to set Eikon apart from what was previously or currently on the market? And it was like, let's take advantage of, or let's focus on some of the problematic areas from my experience doing installs with other companies' kits. Of, man, it's just so heavy, it's so difficult to pull up, pull down, you know, and it's like, okay, so I knew that this is what we had to focus on to make easier, and it was a journey, to say that.
But it was a good journey, because I think you asked me earlier, you know, what the difference is, and I said 65, 70% easier to lift them up.
Over the V1, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean, absolutely.
Which the V1 was still massively easier to lift than the vertical door kits too. I said it this way to a couple different people too. It's like what we did to vertical doors back originally when the V1 came out, because we did that comparison video, and what we did to them, we did to ourselves when the V2 was released to the V1. And I even did the kind of like the same kind of a video where it was a V1 on one side and a V2 on the other side. And then we threw our own self under the bus, because again, it's not about throwing anyone under the bus per se. It's about improvement, showing the dedication to the product, the component, the part, the industry, and just wanting to strive for something better. I think
you did it.
I appreciate that.
You did it.
I appreciate that. Would you, even though you had a horrible experience with Eikon originally and initially, I guess I can say it that way, but would you recommend Eikon, obviously now?
Absolutely. Yep, no doubt about it.
That only cost me.
I was going to say, give me a call if you want. Tim will give you my number, but yeah, I'm very, very happy. Very happy.
Well, it was my pleasure, and I can't apologize enough for everything that you went through, obviously dealing with with at the end of the day, even though I wasn't running it. My company doesn't excuse me from, you know, the accountability that I regretfully ever relinquished in a sense of that, you know. But you live and you learn, I guess.
And there is a saying, all's well that ends well. And this has now ended very well, very well.
I agree. It looks amazing.
Sure does.
It looks amazing. I'm still confused by the initial installation process, because there was some things that I noticed. It was like, wait, how did this get done? Because this wasn't done. Like, it was weird, but that's for a different video.
Yeah,
That's
I
not even for a video.
know.
Yeah. It's just weird. But Tom, it was a pleasure. I'm so glad able to get it resolved. And
honestly, you can give out my number to people or whatever. And when you do make the video of this, send it to me.
Oh, absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That I can share it with other people.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what else I have to do on that website to get set up to be a referral.
I do that all the time. Yeah. Beautiful.
Easy to get out of it.
Easy? Hey, there goes your name badge. That's one downside. Once you get these doors on your car, you can't really keep a lot of stuff in that compartment anymore.
Nope.
Calm down. Just calm down, okay? Well, that's Pelican Sam. And that's Annoying Pete. I don't know. I just named them. Currently standing in the middle of the ocean, I guess. Worked up the courage to come out here in the water. I guess to conclude today's video, Mr. Fitzgerald, it was awesome. I'm glad we got you taken care of. It was my pleasure and my honor to work on your car today. That was a fish, 1.5 feet out of the water. All right, I'm gonna walk back away from the abyss here. Left all my tools and stuff and my install for tomorrow on a Plymouth Prowler. Like I said, it's gonna be weird doing a vertical door kit install. I haven't done one for so long, but I feel like that should go to show, like, I don't have animosity or hatred. Still install that crap. No hate. So until next time, guys, I'm gonna enjoy some ocean. Hopefully don't die, you know, because nothing in here wants me in here with it. We are installing a vertical door ink blend kit today. Like I said, I don't know.